Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So this time we're going to make some slides, okay? Again, I know, more slides, hey. But this time we're going to make slides that kind of look a bit like they're holding some of those slides that you put into microscopes, but this is plastic, so this isn't going to shatter. You can get glass slides, and I don't want you to use glass slides because that would shatter and it could cause somebody potential harm. So I'm going to show you what to do to make these and what I've made these from. So these are the bits here. So I've made this one out of these, and I'll tell you what those are in a minute. I made this one from this stuff. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And then this one is not in the same vein, but this is just a normal standard slide, just in case you don't want to go down this route. This is just using some offcuts from something else I made. So, and that's just using some milky plastic to give it that more aged feel. Okay, so that one is just made from milky plastic. You know, you sometimes get this kind of wrapped around some new dyes, or I think this actually had some dyes inside it. Sometimes the plastic packaging these days is more milky, but that's because they're using recycled materials, which is all good. It's one of those thicker pieces of plastic. Can you hear that? It's a thicker piece of plastic. This is one of the things that you get stamps stuck to. So it's a bit thicker, and that's what this one is made of. A couple of layers of that give you this kind of like this raised thing is what I'm trying to create. But the main reason for making this is I wanted some different coloured dyes, different coloured slides. So I'm going to call this whole slide series Slide into Spring, because you know we seem to be making a lot of slides at the minute, and that's because that's how I am. Sorry for picking the glue off my fingers while I'm talking to you. You know, I am what I am. I'm just me. So the reason for making this is I just wanted some that were a bit brighter. I've been making a lot of file foldery things, and I wanted something that was a bit brighter, a bit more interesting, and very much in keeping with a very old sort of look to it. So I was going for like a Victorian slide, and they used a lot of this acid green, a lot of purples as well. Back then, because they were like the real in colours. So I think that would have been made from arsenic. So you know that isn't arsenic, so you're all right. So okay, so what did I make this one from? So I think that's these, and that is basically it's a shattered CD cover. I've got loads of these bits that I can't throw away because I always think I could use that for something. I don't want to let go. So I'll show you how to cut this first of all. Please don't cut this unless you are confident at cutting, and also don't cut it if you you've got dexterity issues, because you've got a possibility of slipping and sliding on this. Okay, so what you're trying to do first of all is to straighten it in some way. So I'm not going to use all of it because I just want to straighten it, and what I do is I put a steel ruler on it, on a surface where it's not going to slide around too much. Okay, if you've got something that will grip it, so Tim Holtz do some grippy stuff. I believe I have some. I don't think I've ever used it. This stuff, it's kind of sticky grid sheet, so you could use that, but I've never used it, so I'm not going to use it now. And then all I do is I score it with a blade. You're not pressing down on it, remember. Whenever you're doing any kind of cutting, you're never pressing down, and you're not going to cut through this. What you're doing is just like if you're cutting tiles, you're cutting the top surface, so you can see that it doesn't go all the way through. I don't know whether you can tell. Can you see that? Can you see it? I don't know whether you can see it. I don't even know whether I'm showing you the right lens. The problem with smart cameras these days, smartphones these days, they've got millions of lenses on the back. You can't tell which one is which. So all I'm going to do is, once I've done that, is I'm now going to bend on it, okay, and it'll still stay attached, and you're just going to bend it backwards and forwards and snap it off, okay? So like I say, please don't cut this stuff unless you are a confident cutter, because it can shatter. Please wear something over your eyes, obviously not a blindfold. Please wear something you can see through over your eyes to be able to make these, make something like this with. But if you're not confident in cutting this, then use some of the thinner plastic. That's fine. But all I'm trying to do is with, well, I've certainly got loads of CDs with broken cases, and I try to, the CDs I want to keep, I try to replace the covers, and then so you can do it like break it a little bit at a time, and you get a bit more control from it that way, and then just bend it and it'll just snap off. Okay, and then I'm just going to straighten up the edges as well. So I'm just using the grid lines here. So like I say, I'm trying to replace all of my broken CD cases with nice ones for the CDs I want to keep, but you know, I've also got loads of CDs that I don't want to keep. So, and then I'm going to have to find a project to do with old CDs. So there you go. So this one's broken off, but it's not broken off straight. You will sometimes get that. It's a bit like when you're cutting tiles. Anybody's ever cut tiles? I know, because I've cut loads of tiles in my past. They don't always break off the way you expect them to. So anyway, this is, like I say, don't use this if you are not confident using this. This is just me telling you, look, you know, if you've got some, you feel confident and you want to give it a go, because what I like about it is it gives it that three-dimensional quality that looks like an old slide without it being glass. So again, just be careful. If you want to wear gloves, because it can break into little shards that could get stuck in your fingers. If you've got long nails, don't get it stuck up the end of a nail. Oh, that made me feel a bit the idea of getting a bit of this stuck up the end of your nail. There we go. So that's basically all I did, and I just made the slides. And just bear in mind, you know, it doesn't matter if they're a bit scratched, that all adds to the charm and aesthetics of it. So if it's this stuff, all I did was cut it, okay, and then I actually die cut it for this one. I die cut it with a circle and then just put it inside here. I'll show you what to do to make this pattern as we go. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to make some. So I want to make some in this kind of acid purple as well, because I've got some of this acid green as well. I've got loads of coloured paper. I used to make a lot of cards and shadow boxes and all sorts of things, and I've just got a lot. I do a lot of 3D sculptures as well. So I'm going to make, shall I make one that's a little bit wider this time? Let's do that, Dave. Let's go for a wider one. Let's go for Dave. Let's try and do that. So that we're actually making it wider. No, that's still not wider. 2 inches this time. We're going 2 inches wide. Okay. We're not going to go as long this time. I believe this is 12 inches. It is. So 6 inches should be half. Yeah, so basically I've got the two sides together first, and then I get my die cutting out, and I'm going to decide now what size aperture I want and what shape. Do I want another round one? Or do I want one with a shape like this? I might go for that actually. Do I want to go for that? I don't know. This is the, you know, join me again in 3 days when I've made up my mind. Or should I go for a bigger piece of thing? How big is my, how deep is your love? No, it's not my love, Dave. No, that's too big. Talking about over egging the pudding. Go for an oval. An oval. I quite like an oval or is it? Do I like the oval just because I like the colour of the thing? No, I like the oval. I'll go for an oval, I think. So, you know me, I don't measure. We're going to put this on here, and we're going to give it a fighting chance by sticking it down. So, because I'm using this, it's actually American cardstock, American Crafts cardstock, and it's really nice, but they've stopped making it. So I'm going to decide whether I want the linen side facing out or I want the smooth side. And you know what? I think I might go for the linen out this time. I'm going to put that down. So this is going to be a one-take wonder. I don't know whether I said that at the start, because, well, it's actually a two-take wonder, because I'm on the second take, because I'd forgotten to get things. The reason why I started all over again is because I don't have the availability of Vic's computer. So he's got a MacBook, and because I use an Apple iPhone, it makes it great for editing on. However, he's at work, so I don't have that, and I'm recording this on Thursday evening, and I won't be able to edit it before I upload it. So I'll upload it, and it will then it'll sit there and go live on I don't know, on Sunday. I think it'll go live on. Okay, see if it's gone through all the way through. It has indeed. So although this is actually a pill that off really slowly, Dave. No rippy. Okay, this is actually for making like little nameplate things. I didn't want that. I wanted just the hole, and that's what I've got. I've got the hole. And if you line them up like that when you're cutting them, they are more likely to line up, yep, like that, when you put them back together again. So they might be slightly out. I think it might be slightly out, actually, Dave. But it'll do. Okay, so now we've got the aperture. Move that over there. Then what I did was I made it look a bit older, because it's a bit bright at the minute. So, you know, you can admit that, aren't you? It looks a little bit bright. So we're going to make this all look a bit older. Go around the inside of the aperture. And you all know how to do this anyway. But, you know, we're making... It's a one... I was going to say a one-hit wonder, but it's not a one-hit wonder. It's a one-take wonder. No, that's not as good. Where's me little brush? Oh, it's up here. It's up here. Oh, never mind. So, I'm going to go over this. And all it's doing is it's just knocking it back a bit. Still nice and punchy, but looks like it's been weathered a bit by time. You know, I like to create that the kind of little story. You know, it's been sat in some lab for hundreds of years, and they're archiving everything. It's been archived, and now they're digitizing everything, and you know, it's been cast aside onto the scrap heap of time. And it's been picked up by one of us creative types and popped into a journal. So that's the background to it anyway. So, and although it's still quite vibrant, it's nowhere near as bright as it was. So there we go. It's got a bit more of a pinky tone to it now. Okay, so then the other thing that I did was I got out my creative pieces. You know, when I make my own stamps from all sorts of different things that I find lying around, all the nice textures that I find. So I've got some of these out and had a play and made some patterns on it. So I'm going to, that one's clearly never been cleaned. I'm going to use, I don't know, I might use a bit of where is it? Oh, let's say a bit of red on this, I think. Just going to use this and then just kind of just make a bit of texture on it. You can also do it the other way around, so you can inky that and then just put this down wherever you want it. There we go. A bit of texture on it, so and we might do a different pattern of some kind. Not that, not that. That's a smaller version of that. Where is the other stuff? I've just had, there's one of them here. Where's the other one? Which one am I looking for, Dave? I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. There we go, that's what I was looking for. I don't care what the weatherman says, when the weatherman says it's raining. Okay, and then I'm going to, let's put those away. Might put a couple of lines on it. That into there. Put that back over there. Might have it go for a bit of a pattern around one of the apertures. There we go. It all just adds to the creativity of it all. I've just thrown something on the floor. I have no idea what it is. Well, it wasn't that, but I'll pick that up. And then let's go for a different colour on this one. Like that. Go for blue, maybe. Blue. Blue, as in I'm the king of the swingers, jungle VIP. Put a bit more on. The thing with it being cardboard, I mean, I really should go over it with some Mod Podge. The thing with it being cardboard is it does soak it up, so you kind of just have to be quick about it. Yep, there we go. Cool, put that back. So we're just creating that agey look, and then also a bit of inky around the edges. And I wasn't worried about it getting a bit creased because I think it just all adds to the look of it all. So let's go through and finish this, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So let's pick something to go in the aperture now. So I've got some nice butterflies. Oh, that's quite a nice butterfly that would go in there. It's a beautiful. Dave, gone. Don't speak. I know just what you say. Oh no, don't sing like that, Dave, because that's horrible. Oh, that one. Oh, I like the other one better. So I'm going to pick my slide. Is that going to be it's a little bit small? I think that's going to be a bit big, but we can cut it down. We know how to do that now. We have the power. I've got the power. Put a line there, so that tells me where to cut it. I'm going to give it a bit of a chance as being straight. It might not be perfectly straight, but hey. What is? There we go. Snap that bit off. And I only used one side, so that's not going to be perfectly square, but I don't care about that. It's not even perfectly square anyway, so it's more, is that a rhomboid when it's a bit. Can I live with that? I don't know whether I can. I'm never going to be able to cut it off, so So we're just going to do it. So what I did was I stuck my butterfly to my slide, but I used this as guide. Sorry, trying to get my act together. And then these were from Amazon, and they were really badly reviewed. So they were really badly reviewed. Everybody said they were really hard to peel, and you know what? I've not had a single issue with peeling at them. I just went for it anyway because they were what I wanted. I wanted to make this for you guys, so and I couldn't wait for anything else. Or couldn't wait anyway. Full stop. So there you go. I've used that in the background, so that made me. I put that in on so you could see it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to just make sure that we've got these right around the right way. Okay, so you can see this inner bit, what's it called, oval, but I'm not worried about it because I'm just going to ink it a bit. You guys can line it up perfectly if you wish to. So this is how it's going to go. Okay, let's stick it down and I'll show you how to get that. You might not want that. You might think, well, I don't like that. I don't like that look where you can see the bit of plastic. Then I would suggest don't use anything this thick. I wanted it to look like it was housing one of those slides. So all I've done is a run of tiny bit of glue around the outside, a bit like a Buffalo Girl around the outside. I'm going to put that onto there. Okay, and then what I did was I glued this one, and I glued around, not really close to the aperture, because you don't have to worry too much about the aperture, it being stuck right up to the edge. You just want to go a little bit around, not too much glue, so there's nothing to squirt out onto the slide, and then just a bit of glue all the way around the outside, right up to the edges, so it looks like you've got good coverage. And I'm going to stick this to here, stand it up on its side so that they kind of line it up better. Okay, and then I'm just going to press it down. So I want to press it down till it kind of adheres, but I'm not going to worry about trying to get that line, because I'm going to show you how to do that. Try and move it a bit if it's not quite lined up. Perfect. Well, it's not perfect, but perfect for me. Okay, so to get that line, what I did was I got my die cutting machine. I got my one of my plastic plates, and then I got, this is some of the spongy embossing sheets. Put that on there. Put the embossing sheet on top, and the other bit of plastic on the top of that. The plate, that's what it's called, a plate, Dave, not a piece of plastic. Then open my die cutter up, and then I just popped that through there. Now obviously this is where it would all go horribly wrong if you were using glass, but because we're not, it's not going to go horribly wrong. And then when you take it out, you see how you get that nice edge on it, so you can see where it's holding that. And I like it because it gives it that kind of authenticity. I love how we go for like the authenticity. It's fake authenticity, but it's it's our authenticity. And then I just went round it and highlighted those edges, the raised bit anyway, so you could see that clearly defined. Yeah, and then I also just went for, like this one, just went for a bit of creasing on it, so I could do the same there, like it's had some ravages of time. It's seen ravages of time. Can you say it's seen ravages of time? It's been ravaged by time. That's possibly more likely. And then all I did was I just scored that in. Flip it over, score that bit in. If it hangs over the end, just throw something else on the floor. No, just cut that bit off. Okay, and then I extra inked that, and in order to extra ink it, I just did this. And also on that, if you pull the crease out and get the crease, and then you can just define that creasy bit there. And then I just glued that down. Again, not too much glue. This is PVA style glue. Okay, so while that's kind of gluing, while it's gluing, I'll just hold that in place like that. Okay, pop that on there. Okay, and then we're going to decorate it. So I actually used a T card on that. There you go. So just like this, I'm going to use another T card. I might go for a bit of a different look this time. Rip that off like that. Might rip that bit off as well. Ink the edges of this up, so it's nice and torn. A nice, grubby edge. Bit grubby. Okay, and I'll pop that over. I have that going over there, so I'm just going to fold it off the card first. Put a nice crease in that. Don't mind that the edge of that splits, because I'm just going to ink that, so it's kind of split where the front lamination is peeling off. I'm going to put that on there. I'm just going to glue that on. I think that should be glued now. It is. Pop that on. Glue it, and I think I might use a stamp again. I'll get the stamp book out. Some people collect stamps because they like to collect stamps. Others, like us, collect stamps so we can glue them to things. I like it. It's not. I wanted something a bit more clashy. I can't get it out. There you go. Quite like that one. Might go for that. Go for an orange. I don't want to go for purple. I don't want to go for green. Blue's a bit yellow. Oh, yellow and brown. And I don't want to go for a picture, I don't think. No. My stamps, by the way, just get them from eBay, bags of them. You can get them where they're still stuck to a piece of paper, and you just need to float them yourself. By that I mean you just leave the paper and the stamps in some water, and the stamp will either float off or it'll go softer, and you can just push it with your finger and push it off the back. They're usually cheaper that way, or you can buy them where somebody has done that for you. And because let's face it, stamps, they're like 10 a penny. Well, you can't get 10 for a penny. Nice try, Dave. No, you can't get 10 for a penny. But they're relatively cheap these days. So I've got another bit of this is my 2 sort ephemera. No, something. I just want something else stuck on there, I think. This was just a bag of ephemera I bought from Amazon. I don't want a sheep. I don't know why that's in there. Well, it's because it's a piece of the ephemera. That's why it's in there, Dave. Might go for a bit of that. Might not go for it all. I quite like the number. Ink this off. Yep, I'm going to put that on there. Now, obviously, I know, you know, I've been accused of liking it a bit more grubby looking, and you don't have to have it grubby looking. You can make it all cleaned up and look nice and everything, but I really like the way that they turn out. So, so to make the round one, by the way, all I did was this one. I used this. Now this is a die from a die set for making an animated card. It's kind of, it has a handle on it that you do this with, and it's got a lens aperture and thing, and it's just nice because it punches both the holes out at the same time. But you could just use, you know, a couple of well placed dies together, because you're probably better at placing those than I am. But I think maybe we'll make this and then we'll call it a day. So I'm going to make this one again out of, this time I'm not going to use this harder plastic, because trust me, I cannot cut that harder plastic into a circle. I'm just going to fold that over. I know that's like a cheaty way, but that's the cutting die, the plate that I need, and then the other plate is here. I'm going to get my cutting machine out. Die cutting machine, Dave, get your words out. Pop in there. And do that. Do you know what started me off on this? Oh, yeah, I think I know what fell off. Oh no, it wasn't that. Sorry, distracted slightly. What started me off on all of this is I've forgotten what I was going to say. No, it's my inability to throw plastic away. Just don't like throwing plastic away, and also I've got loads of these, like the butterflies and things, but like flowers that are on plastic, and I just don't like them on stuck to other things. I think if you've got something that's like matte, and then you stick one of these to it, it just stands out like a sore thumb. So that's what I was trying to achieve, is doing something with this. So that's what I did. Just put the die cutter away, and actually I need it. And you see how that cuts it out perfectly in the middle. That's what I like, because trust me, I wouldn't get it like that. I was going to put that on the glue. It's not a lid, Dave. That's the lid for the glue. Never going to be able to do that with my left hand. Oh, did. Never say never, Dave. And then what I did was I used some of this plastic. Now this plastic has had a dye on it, and all I did to get that off is I used a bit of isopropyl blooper blip, that isopropyl yeah. Yeah, you're on your own, I can't say that. Isopropanol, is that what it is? Isopropanol. Just be careful when you use an isopropanol. See, you can tell I'm Mr. Health and Safety, can't you? The reason I say just be careful is it's really bad. Pure alcohol. So you know when you use alcohol hand sanitizer, that's fine. That's why it's not as strong. It's got about 30%, 50%, up to 70% alcohol in it, because it's really bad. That is 97%. It's really bad. It strips all the oils out of your skin and can give you very dry, and also it's very like prone to cause dermatitis. So you came here for your health and safety warning, didn't you? That's what you tuned in for. Let's face it. So ever want to give you a bit of health and safety advice. Then I used a die that was bigger than the hole, and then I just, instead of trying to cut it over two, it's really difficult. It's much harder to cut this. So I put it in once and go over once and back, because it's back again and back again. So, and it still might not have cut it right the way through. See how it's stuck in the plastic. So just give it a wiggle and pull it out, and then do the same on that one. In there. I love this machine. I know I say that every time, but I do love that little machine. You know, I never really got on with die cutters before, but I love that. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Don't keep those, Dave. We'll be here for ever more trying to find things to do with those bits. And then I'm just going to ink this over, just to give it a bit of an older feel, and kind of mat it down a bit, dull it down a bit. I mean, you know, I think I've chosen not to use the linen side this time. It doesn't matter. These two will definitely line up because these are in the middle. That circle is definitely in the middle. That's part of the die. So yeah, I'm really loving doing slides at the moment. So, and they're just nice, interesting things, especially because I want to do the journal that I want to make. My utilitarian journal is going to be very slide heavy. Okay, pop that on there. Let's get, where's the lid? There it is. Put the things over there. Right then. All I did was I stuck one side down, so just put a tiny bit all the way around. This is one of the ones that kind of cuts with a stitch mark, but it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see any of that. So in fact, I'm going to wipe a bit of that glue off so that it doesn't squeeze out too much. There we go. I'm going to pick my flower, which I think is this one. I'm going to peel the back of this off. So I tend to find that if you're going to peel these things, if you peel the front off the back, it's easier. The front bit is thinner and peels easier than the back. And peel the front off the back. Cut the bit off that you don't need. Pop that in the circle, and then pop that on the top, and again glue it down with the I want to glue that bit on first. So the reason why I'd use two, that one only has one piece. The reason why I use two on this is because this is much thinner, and to get that kind of raised feel to it, I wanted it to have that double thickness of it. So put that down like that. Oh, and I've just realised I've inked completely the wrong side. Well, no, I haven't. haven't inked the wrong side. I've stuck it to the completely the wrong side. Never mind. We can always add to the inking. This is what you get for more haze, less speed, Dave. So again, covering this but not saturating it with glue. Don't need any on the aperture because I've already glued that bit. I'm going to lie that over the top of there. Again, press it all down, all the way round. Just ink the back of that because I had a moment, just a moment. Like I just have a moment. I have a life, I don't have a moment. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of my faux sellotape on there as well. So I'm going to just snip and rip. Oh no, maybe not snip and rip, maybe try snip and rip again. There you go. Snip and rip. Stick that on there. Fold that over. And then just put this back through this die cutting machine with that embossing sheet on it. Just take the thicker mat out, otherwise it won't go through. There it is. Put that on there, that on top of there, that on top of there, put that in there. There we go. Take this off. And this. And there we go. That's our kind of sampley thing. There we go. Cool. So that's what we've made. So just another interesting slide to put in your repertoire. You know, obviously let me know if you tag me if you've made one. It's always good to hear from you if you have made one. You know, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to comment on it, don't forget to share it. If I could turn back time. Yeah. Yes, thanks, Share. Not that Share. Share it. Okay. So yeah, go and have a play and a make. Like I say, you can just make it, you know, with, you know, a bit of milky plastic for something different. And this was actually just an invitation, I think it was. I just liked the fact that it got some writing on it. So there you go. That's it. So hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you're going to make some. So let me know if you do. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. You know, you can email me at _Dave. So _of_Dave at gmx.com. Message me. And you know, if you've got any questions, I'll answer them. You know, either in the comments or in if you prefer to just drop me an email, that's great. If you want to buy me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee. If you want to buy any of my digitals, you can buy my digitals. If you want to just come and back and watch me for free next time I do a video, then do that as well. All right then, folks. Like I say, these are just something a bit different, nice and simple. Put them on a nice background for you. There you go. You can see I'm better now. Use any colour you like. Don't be afraid of colour. Don't be afraid of colour. You know, I'm a man and I like colour, so you definitely can. All right then, folks. You all take care. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Dasher Dave, and remember, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care, folks. Lots of love, lots of hugs. Always love here for you. And don't forget, you can. I know you can. All right then. Take care, folks. Bye.